Greeting dear students. We are doing dissolution of partnership firm. In the previous lecture we have learned how to prepare realization account, how to transfer assets and what type of assets are to be transferred to realization and how their assets realize. Likewise, transfer of liabilities and payment of liabilities and the net result of realization. In today's lecture we will be learning few more concepts relating to dissolution. So let us start. Our first concept is treatment of expenses. Treatment of dissolution expenses, or you can say realization expenses at the time of realization expenses at the time of dissolution. So before doing the treatment of dissolution expenses, let us do the meaning of two words. First word which I want you to know is borne, and the second word is paid. So when we talk about borne, it means responsibility. Borne means the ultimate responsibility or burden, you can say, the burden of that particular aspect. Like for example, if suppose in case of dissolution expenses there can be two possibilities, either the burden responsibility, or you can also write the burden. Either the burden of dissolution expenses or realization expenses is to be beared by firm, or it is to be borne by a partner. Likewise, when we talk about payment aspect, payment means payment in cash. So when we talk about payment aspect, there can be two possibilities. Expenses can be paid by the firm, or expenses can be paid by the partner. So let us see what is to be done when expenses are borne by the firm. If firm is bearing the expenses, then what is to be done? So if firm is bearing the expenses, in that case we'll assume we'll take realization account will be debited. Whenever firm is taking responsibility to bear realization expenses, in that case realization account will be debited, because normally we used to give debit to expenses. Like for example, when we pay salary, we give debit to salary. When we pay rent, debit to rent. But here, because firm is dissolving, so we don't want to create a new ledger, and you know that realization account is a nominal account. So whenever firm is ready to bear, ready to take the burden of realization expenses, it will give debit to realization account. Likewise, if suppose partner is taking the responsibility, partner will take up the whole of accounting process and whole dissolution process, and he is ready to bear the realization expenses. In that case, we'll give debit to partner's capital account. That particular partner's capital account will be debited, whosoever is taking the responsibility. So this was about bearing or taking up the burden of dissolution expenses. Now let us talk about the payment part. If suppose firm is ready to pay dissolution expenses or realization expenses, in that case, you know that whenever firm pays expenses, in that case we'll give credit to cash. So here to cash, or we'll give credit to cash if firm is ready to pay the expenses. But if partner is paying the expenses, in that case we'll give credit to partner's capital account. So these are the two concepts which are very important before going for the treatment of realization expenses. First is borne, second is paid. Borne means ultimate responsibility, ultimate burden, ultimate bearing of expenses, or ultimate meeting of expenses, you can say. So firm, if firm is meeting the expenses, then realization account will be debited. But if partner is meeting the expenses, then partner's capital account will be debited. So this was about meeting the burden. But let us see the payment part. If firm is paying, in that case we'll give credit to cash. But if partner is paying, we'll give credit to partner's capital account. So let us study various cases based on these two concepts. So case 1, let us see what will happen in case 1. Under this case 1, when realization expenses are borne and paid by the firm. When realization expenses are borne as well as paid by the firm, then what will happen? So let us see. When realization expenses are borne as well as paid by the firm, so according to this, borne and paid by the firm, so this concept will be used as well as this will be used. So what is the journal entry for bearing realization expenses? For borne, we'll give debit to realization account, and for this payment part, paid by the firm, we'll give credit to cash. So finally our journal entry will be realization account debit to cash account. So this is the case when firm is taking responsibility to make the payment as well as firm is paying realization expenses. Now let us do case 2. Now what is there in case 2? When realization expenses are borne by the firm but paid by the partner. So now let us see which combination will be used here. When realization expenses are borne by the firm. Borne by the firm means expenses are borne by the firm. So what is to be debited? Realization account is to be debited. So debit realization account because firm is taking the responsibility of bearing. Now who is paying? Expenses are paid by the partner. So whenever expenses are paid by the partner, we'll give credit to partner's capital account. Now can you frame the journal entry now? Yes, you can easily frame the journal entry. Now the journal entry will be because you are giving debit to realization and credit to partner's capital. So here your journal entry will be realization account debit. You will not write realization expenses because you don't want to create an expense ledger. So you will give debit to realization account to partner's capital account. So this was the case when expenses are borne by the firm and paid by the partner. And I'm telling you, this concept is very important, and normally student used to get confused in this concept. And if you see last year's paper, you will find that whenever there is a journal entry or long question, one part must be related to this realization expenses. Now let us do the third case, case 3. When realization expenses are borne as well as paid by the same partner. Now what is happening in this case? Borne by the partner as well as paid by the same partner. So let us see, this is our key for framing the journal entry. So whenever realization expenses are borne by the partner, we'll give debit to partner's capital, and expenses are paid by the partner, we'll give credit to partner's capital. So our journal entry will be partner's capital account debit, partner's capital account debit to partner's capital account. We'll give debit to partner's same partner capital account 2 times. Twice we'll be debiting partner's capital. And why we are giving debit to partner's capital? Because partner is bearing, borne by the partner as well as paid by the same partner. So you can see that if borne as well as paid by the same partner, like for example, if partner X is taking the responsibility, takes the responsibility to meet dissolution realization expenses of rupees, let us say 5,000, then what is the journal entry? Journal entry will be X capital debit to X capital. So do you think will there be any journal entry with 5,000? 5,000. So we are giving debit to the same partner as well as credit to the same partner. So finally there will be no journal entry for this. There will be no journal entry for this part. No journal entry for this particular part, because expenses are borne as well as paid by the same partner. But if suppose same case we frame in a different way, if expenses are borne by one partner and paid by another partner. So let us see what will happen in that case. If expenses are, this is my case 4, when expenses are borne by one partner, let us say partner X, and paid by another partner, let us say partner Y. So what is the rule? When expenses are borne by a partner, one partner, the one who is bearing will be debited. So his capital account will be debited. So X capital account will be debited, and the one who is paying, his account will be credited. So to Y's capital account. So there will be a journal entry if both persons are different. This is borne by X and this is for payment by paid by Y. So now let us do the next case, case 5. Yes, when any of the partner agree to carry out dissolution for an agreed commission, agreed remuneration, or you can call it as commission also, remuneration or commission including realization expenses. Yes, so what will happen in this case? When one partner agree to carry out dissolution expenses and dissolution and for that at an agreed remuneration, means he is ready to take care of dissolution charge, and how he is taking out this dissolution charge, he is asking for a remuneration or commission, and this commission will include realization expenses, means whatever actual expenses will be there. So actual expenses will be borne as well as paid by the partner. So now let us see what will happen in this case. So we can divide this into two parts. First part will be when remuneration or you can call it as commission. Commission is paid by the partner. Sorry, paid by the firm to the partner. Paid by the firm to the partner. So in the first part, remuneration or commission will be paid by the firm to the partner. And here one important thing is, if nothing is mentioned in the numerical, not clearly specified, we'll assume that whatever payment is done, whatever payment is done to the partner, it will be done in non-cash. Non-cash means if we want to give some amount to the partner, we'll simply increase partner's capital account. And you know that if you want to increase partner's capital account means you will give credit to partner's capital account. This is the rule of the partner's capital account. If you want to increase, give credit. If you want to decrease, give debit. So on the basis of this, we can frame the journal entry. Now giving a remuneration or commission to a partner by the firm, it is an expense for the firm. This part is an expense for the firm, and you know how to deal with the expense. For expense, we will be giving debit to realization account. So realization account debit with the amount of remuneration to the partner to whom we are giving a remuneration, partner's capital account with the amount of remuneration or commission also. Sometime this commission is also based on the sale value of assets, so that we'll have to see how much commission or how much remuneration we are giving to the partner. Now let us see the second part of this concept. In the second part, the actual expenses realization expenses are met by the partner. So it has two parts. One part will be giving commission, and in the second part, when there is actual realization expenses, now firm has nothing to do with this. But if this particular sentence is written that actual expenses are met by the partner, in that case there will be no journal entry. Why no journal entry? Because partner is paying as well as bearing. Both the things are done by the partner. Burden of expenses taken by the partner because he already got the commission, as well as he is paying realization expenses. But sometime what happen is that instead of giving this commission to a partner, sometime partner wants that when the actual, he has to pay the actual expense, realization expenses. In that case, he use firm's cash to pay the realization expenses. So let us see what will happen in that case. So if actual expenses are borne by the partner but paid by the firm. So in that case, first entry will remain as it is. There will be no change in the first entry. Along with this, you have to pass another entry, and that entry will be, why we have not passed any entry here? Because here will be giving debit to same partner and credit to same partner. But here will be giving debit to the partner who is bearing. So partner's capital account debit, because he is actually taking the burden of realization expenses. But he is not paying. The expense, the money is taken from the firm, so we'll give to credit to cash because firm is making payment out of firm's cash. He is making payment out of firm's cash. So along with this entry will be there. So I am repeating this case. When partner agree to carry out dissolution expenses for an agreed commission, including realization expenses, so there will be two entries. First entry for making the remuneration. This entry has to be there. And in the second case, in this plus, so this plus, second entry will be, there will be no journal entry because partner is paying as well as bearing. But in case along with this case happens, so either B or C. If this happens, that partner is bearing, yes, it is there, his partner has to bear the expenses, but he is withdrawing firm's cash. He is using firm's cash to make the payment. In that case, partner's capital account debit to cash. So along with this entry will be there. Otherwise, if A and there is a combination of A and B, then this plus no entry. So I hope this fifth case is clear to you. Now let us do the last case, case number 6. So what is there in case 6? When realization expenses are borne by a partner but paid by the firm. So what will happen in this case? Borne by the partner, paid by the firm. In that case, the one who is the partner expenses are borne by a partner. Borne by a partner means partner's capital account will be debited. And what is to be credited here? Because firm is paying, so we'll be giving credit to cash. So cash account will be credited. So finally, journal entry will be partners capital account debit to cash account when expenses are borne by a partner and paid by a firm. So I hope all these cases are clear to you, all these 6 cases. So let us revise these 6 cases. So first of all, I told you that there will be, you must know the meaning of borne as well as paid. If expenses are borne by the firm, then realization will be debited. Borne by a partner, then partner's capital account will be debited. And the payment part, if firm is paying, will be giving credit to cash, and if partner is paying, will give credit to partner's capital. So when realization expenses are borne as well as paid by the firm, in that case, see what will happen in this case, case 1, they will simply give us that realization expenses are rupees this way. Realization expenses are rupees 5,000. That's it. Only this much information is given to us. So question is silent relating to who is bearing and who is paying. So if question is silent, in this case we assume that both borne as well as payment is done by the firm. So the journal entry will be realization account debit to cash. Second case, when expenses are borne by the firm, paid by the partner. So borne by the firm means realization will be debited, realization account will be debited, and partner's capital account will be credited. Now third case, when expenses are borne as well as paid by the same partner. So because in both the cases same partner will be debited, so there will be no journal entry. When expenses are borne by one partner and paid by another partner, so in that case journal entry will be the one who is bearing will be debited and the one who is paying will be credited. So now let us see the next case, case 5. When any of the partner agree to carry out dissolution expenses for a remuneration. So in that case, when we make payment for remuneration, realization account debit to partner's capital, this is the part for making payment for remuneration. And I told you, whatever we pay to a partner, if it is not specifically mentioned, we assume that it is not paid in cash. It is a non-cash transaction. We simply increase partner's capital account. And along with this, if question is silent relating to actual realization expenses, so we assume that these are paid and borne by the partners, same partners, so there will be no journal entry. But if suppose it is clearly mentioned that along with this, that actual expenses are borne by the partner but paid by the firm, in that case along with this will pass this entry, partner's capital to cash. And when realization expenses, this is case 6, expenses are borne by the partner, paid by the firm. So this you already know. Borne by the partner means partner's capital account will be debited, paid by the firm means cash will be credited. So the final entry will be partner's capital account debit to cash. So I hope the treatment of realization expenses must be clear to you. Now you practice the numericals given in TS Grewal as well as NCERT. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.